I tried to keep my composure as I repeated calmly, despite the frustration rising within me. My supervisor, Marcus, reclined in his leather seat, still wearing that unbearable grin. Emma, you're exceptional at what you do. Nobody is arguing against that. But Jessica, she knows how to engage with people. She infuses the workplace with energy. You're too focused on achievements. Focused on results. Those words reverberated in my mind as I sat there, my hands gripping the armrests. For 5 years, I dedicated myself to this company, enduring early mornings, late nights, and countless weekends. I single-handedly secured our largest contracts, optimized our processes, and boosted our department's productivity by 40%. Yet, I was being overlooked for a promotion because I was supposedly too results-driven. I am Emma Chin, 32, and I came to realize that corporate triumph isn't always based on merit. It's often about navigating office politics, knowing whose ego to massage and whose coffee to serve. Jessica was indeed adept at this. Despite having only been with the company for 2 years, she had already mastered how to claim credit for others' accomplishments while contributing little herself. I observed Marcus as he shuffled the papers on his desk, probably expecting me to protest or break down. But I did neither. Instead, I reached into my bag and retrieved a pristine white envelope. "I comprehend," I uttered as I placed the envelope before him, "and I thank you for informing me. Here is my resignation letter. My final day will be in 2 weeks." Marcus's arrogant grin wavered. This wasn't the response he had anticipated. "Emma, there's no need for drastic decisions just because the promotion didn't come through," he started. "It's not rushed," I interjected, my voice steady yet unwavering. "I've given it considerable thought, and you're correct, I do focus on outcomes. That's precisely why I am seeking other opportunities where that trait is appreciated." What Marcus failed to realize, what none of them knew, was that during these past 5 years, I had been working on a personal endeavor. An endeavor that would render Marcus's promotion a petty jest. As I exited his office, I felt the scrutinizing gazes of my colleagues. News circulated quickly in our department, and Jessica was likely already scheming how to rearrange my workspace. With my head high, I returned to my desk, conscious of the other document nestled within my resignation letter, the one that would make Marcus understand precisely what he was losing. The ensuing 2 weeks unfolded predictably. Jessica paraded around the office with an air of ownership, flaunting her grasp on her new position. Occasionally, she'd stop by my desk, her voice dripping with insincere pity. "Emma, I trust there are no lingering grudges," she commented one morning, casually perching on the edge of my desk. "I realize you put in tremendous effort for this promotion." I glanced up from my computer, where I meticulously downloaded copies of all my work, not for any underhanded purpose, but to have a comprehensive record of my contributions. "No resentment whatsoever, Jessica. I'm confident you'll excel." She smiled, probably assuming I'd conceded. Unbeknownst to her, the truth was on my side. For the past 3 years, I've quietly been working on pioneering a project management system. Initially, it was a tool to organize my tasks, but over time it grew into an incredibly powerful resource. I put it through rigorous tests and refinements, utilizing it to achieve the kind of results that Marcus found so baffling. With my resignation letter, I handed over a comprehensive report detailing the amount of money and time this system had saved the company. The twist? I also included a notice that I had filed for a patent 6 months prior, which was approved just last week. Yet, that wasn't the best part. A week into my resignation notice period, I received an email from Robert Chin, no relation, the CEO of our fiercest competitor. He heard through the grapevine that I was departing and wanted to grab a coffee. Seeing his name pop up in my inbox brought a smile. Things were lining up exactly as I had envisioned. Meeting Robert was just as I hoped. He'd been monitoring my work for months, impressed by my ability to transform client relationships and streamline processes. But he didn't just make me a job offer. He proposed a partnership role, complete with creative control over the implementation of my system across their entire organization. "Emma, we've been searching for someone like you," he said, sliding a contract across the table. "Someone who knows that results are what truly matter." The salary is triple your current pay, plus equity in the company. I accepted the contract, my hands steady in spite of the adrenaline rush. This was what true recognition felt like, being genuinely valued. On the day I handed in my security badge, Marcus summoned me for one last meeting. His once smug demeanor was replaced by something verging on panic. "Emma, we need to discuss this report you attached to your resignation," he stammered, holding the papers with trembling hands. "Why didn't you tell us about this system earlier?" I sat down, smoothing my skirt. "I tried, Marcus. I've requested meetings thrice this past year to discuss these new measures, but each time I was told to focus on team dynamics instead." His face flushed as he flipped through the report. "But this is groundbreaking," he stammered. "The savings potential alone, and you've already patented it?" I nodded, taking pleasure in the quiver in his voice. "Indeed, and I've accepted a role with Chin Industries. They are eager to implement the system on a company-wide scale." Marcus collapsed back into his chair, the reality of his oversight dawning on him. "Chin Industries, our primary competitor? Emma, you can't. What about loyalty to our company?" I couldn't help but chuckle at his plea. "Loyalty? You mean like the loyalty you showed me by promoting Jessica? Or ignoring every suggestion I made because I didn't fit your ideal of a team player?" Rising from my seat, I straightened my jacket. "Here's the irony, Marcus. Had you set aside your biases and recognized the outcomes rather than who delivered your coffee or laughed at your jokes, this wouldn't be happening. But now, Chin Industries is gaining an edge you can't replicate. We'll match any offer they made," he hurriedly promised, a hint of desperation seeping in. "We'll promote you to senior director, just don't go to Chin." I shook my head, almost. As I departed from his office for the last time, I heard Marcus anxiously dialing his phone. He was probably reaching out to the executive team in a frantic attempt to control the damage. However, it was already too late. The patent belonged to me, and my new job was secured. Jessica, on the other hand, would soon discover that merely taking credit for others' efforts was short-lived without the ability to produce tangible outcomes. Later that evening, as I cleared my desk, I noticed a post-it note attached to my monitor. It was from Jessica, written in her elegant handwriting. "Sorry to see you go. Keep in touch." I grinned as I crumpled it and threw it into the trash. She would definitely hear about me. The entire industry would. Transitioning to Chin Industries felt like entering a whole new realm. Instead of being confined in a small cubicle, I now had a corner office with expansive floor-to-ceiling windows. My name was elegantly displayed on a sleek glass nameplate: Emma Chin, Director of Operations and Strategic Innovation. The real difference wasn't in the office space or the title, it was in the respect people showed me. Robert Chin, the CEO, organized an all-hands meeting to introduce me. In front of the packed conference room, he did more than just announce my role. He detailed my accomplishments, explained the value of my management system, and affirmed that I would have complete authority to implement changes throughout the company. "Emma isn't just joining our team," he declared, his voice resonating across the room. "She's bringing a revolutionary project management approach that will transform our operations. I expect everyone to fully cooperate with her." The contrast to my previous workplace couldn't have been more evident. There, I was the silent workhorse who got things done but went unrecognized. Here, my focus on results, something Marcus had ignored, was celebrated. True satisfaction arrived 3 months later. During a team meeting, a text from my former colleague, David, made my phone buzz. "You might want to check the industry news. Something big just dropped about Meridian Corporation." Excusing myself, I hurried back to my office and pulled up the industry news site on my computer. The headline took my breath away: "Meridian Corp's stock plummets 30% following catastrophic quarter." The article detailed how Meridian had lost 3 significant clients recently, with several more threatening to leave. Project delays had surged, costs had spiraled, and their efficiency metrics hit a record low. The company's stock was in freefall. As I read through the article, a quote from Thomas Reynolds, one of our largest former clients, caught my attention. "The quality of service at Meridian has significantly deteriorated in recent months. Projects that used to be completed smoothly are now constantly delayed. It's like they completely lost their organizational structure, Reynolds stated. I couldn't help but smile. Those smoothly running projects? They were managed using my system. The organizational structure they lost? It was the framework I had built over 5 years, which Marcus had never cared to understand. My phone buzzed again, another text from David. You won't believe what Jessica's been. Feeling utterly overwhelmed, she was struggling with the workload, and it was becoming clear to Marcus that she was clueless. I placed my phone down, contemplating the irony. Jessica, who had spent 2 years taking credit for others' accomplishments, was now forced to deliver results independently. Meanwhile, Marcus, who prioritized appearance over substance, was witnessing the downfall of his department. However, I had more significant matters to attend to at Chin Industries. My system was already yielding excellent results. Project timelines had been halved, client satisfaction rates were higher than ever, and our efficiency metrics were exceptional. Robert had already approved my proposal to implement the system throughout the entire company, and we were in discussions with several major clients eager to license our technology. One morning, about 6 months after I departed from Meridian, I enter my office to find Robert waiting with a newspaper in hand. Have you seen this? He inquired, holding it up. The headline proclaimed, Meridian QRP CEO steps down amid ongoing crisis. I nodded, accepting the paper from him. I see they're reorganizing the entire company, Robert continued, watching my face closely. The boards realized how poorly they've managed their talent. Seems they tried to replicate your system, but without the underlying architecture, it was futile, I concluded. The system involves more than just software or procedures. It's about how all elements integrate. Robert grinned knowingly. Which is why we're announcing your promotion to executive vice president next week, he revealed. The board's vote was unanimous. They've witnessed your achievements here in merely 6 months and are eager for more. A sense of warmth filled my chest. This was genuine recognition for my contributions, not for playing office politics. Later that day, I unexpectedly received an email from Marcus. Emma, I hope this finds you well. I'm sure you've heard about the changes at Meridian. I wanted to reach out and acknowledge my grave mistake in not recognizing your significance to the company. The system you developed was the cornerstone of our success, and its absence was felt. I am no longer with Meridian. The board requested my resignation last week. Before leaving, I ensured they understood this could have been averted had they listened to you. Jessica resigned a month ago, having discovered that managing real projects is much harder than taking credit for others' work. I know it's too late to amend things, but I wanted you to know that you were right. Results do matter. I just wish I'd realized that sooner. Best regards, Marcus. Reading the email twice over, I absorbed its message. There was a period when such acknowledgement would have meant everything to me, but now, sitting in my executive office at Chin Industries, preparing for another board meeting where my ideas were valued, it felt like a mere footnote in a story that had moved on. I drafted a simple response. Marcus, thank you for your email. You're right. Results do matter. I wish you the best in your future endeavors. Best, Emma. As I sent the reply, my eyes caught the framed patent certificate hanging on my wall. Upon arriving home, a sense of fulfillment washed over me as I thought about the journey my career had taken. The new plaque hanging beneath the management system's record-breaking acknowledgement served as a reminder. Next to it, a news article heralded me as one of the industry's rising stars. Reflecting on how I had grown since that day in Marcus's office, when he criticized me for being overly fixated on results, I realized it was the highest form of praise. Now, in my current position with an adept team, our results were truly transformative. The following morning, I gathered my team for a meeting. Observing the engaged faces around the conference room, all individuals who respected and valued my contributions, I realized the depth of satisfaction this brought me. Today, I began. We're going to discuss our next major project. However, first, I want to share the significance of appreciating value, not just in mechanisms or strategies, but in individuals. As I spoke, clarity dawned in their eyes, indicating they grasped the essence. True success transcends mere participation. It's about creating genuine value and standing firmly by one's beliefs. Reflecting upon the lessons Marcus, Jessica, and Meridian Corp inadvertently taught me, I recognized that the most profound revenge isn't retribution but progression, building something superior to what was left behind. Driving past the Meridian Corp building that evening, I noted its dated appearance, and a for lease sign reflected yet another blow from their misguided decisions. Yet, triumph wasn't the sentiment I felt. It was gratitude. Gratitude for their underestimation, for their rejection, which compelled me to affirm my self-worth. An unexpected text from David revealed that Meridian's board inquired if I'd reconsider a CEO position. I responded with a smile. Thanks, but I'm precisely where I need to be. The essence of success lies not merely in contradicting others, but in affirming oneself. It's about standing true to one's beliefs amid skepticism and knowing one's value without compromise. As I reached my driveway, I pondered those talented yet overlooked professionals, those, like me, criticized for result focus. May my narrative inspire them to uphold their value, to cultivate opportunities self-sustained. Often, rejection catalyzes the drive to create something remarkable, something that underscores what was overlooked. At my home office, reviewing global expansion proposals, I smiled, realizing Marcus was indeed right in one aspect. My result-oriented focus had led me exactly where I intended to be.